following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Didn't you get my message?
Oh, yes, I got the message. Mr. Grant is in the projection room, and he wanted me to call you and say he won't be home again for dinner tonight. He's showing some film to Mr. Bracken.
All of a sudden, he has to see a sequence of film cut together.
And we all jump.
Yes, Marjorie. As a matter of fact, we do.
Did you have anything to eat?
I sent out for hamburgers. The thing that really digs into me is Bracken's insistence that the audience will not understand story points unless there are close-ups. And the scene played like $1 million in the full shot. Everything was there. Bracken is so ambivalent. Sometimes he's progressive, and then the next time he doesn't seem to recognize what's happening in filmmaking today.
And how was your day, Marjorie?
You know what a close-up is? Or rather, what a close-up should be. It's a weapon. It's an exclamation point, something that... a bang.
I'll tell you about my day.
Anyone we know?
Just a family.
That abstract, that came from a set.
Yes, I know, your first film.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought this one today. Do you like it?
Oh, family portraits belong in a bedroom.
Don't husbands?
Look, I don't know how many times I can come home at this hour and say, I'm sorry I'm late, but I got held up. I don't know how many times I can do it and still live with myself. What do you want me to do, Marjorie? Quit? Go into another business?
We're losing each other, Kevin. There's got to be an answer.
Yes.
Are you coming up?
I have some work to do on the script. I'll be up in a little while.
Good morning, Miss Grant.
Good morning, Jim.
You having lunch with us today?
Not today. Strictly business.
I see. Well, you'll find Miss Grant over on stage 5 right now, I believe.
Thank you. Mrs. Walker.
Yes, may I help you?
I'm inquiring about a job. Are there any openings for a secretary?
Nothing at this time, sorry.
I'm Mrs. Grant. Mrs. Kevin Grant? Naturally, I don't want to bother you.
Excuse me, Mrs. Grant. I didn't recognize you. Come in, please.
Thank you.
Sit down, won't you? I'm sorry if I sounded abrupt. It's just that so many people apply here for the wrong reasons, especially attractive young women in search of a little glamour. Too often they don't seem to realize a typewriter here looks just like a typewriter anywhere else.
Is there any position open to someone serious and very willing to learn?
Well, we do have what we call our apprentice program for script supervisors. But it's complicated and rather taxing work. Is your friend really serious?
Very serious. The job is for me.
I see. Well, in that case, we'll just begin by filling out a couple of forms. Oh, I wish it were yesterday.
Well, so do I. Then last night would be ahead of us.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Last night, you said that you loved me.
Oh, last night you weren't married, remember? Oh, David, why did you have to tell me?
Because I wanted to be honest.
Honest? Oh, honesty is when you tell a girl before, not after.
You do love me, Tom.
You want to roll it back a little bit, Frank?
You? Ui.
Validi.
Hörst on. Oh, vi börjar lära mig nog det här. Oh.
Yeah, that's good now.
Honest? Oh, honesty is when you tell a girl before, not after.
You do love me, don't you?
Love you? Oh. Oh. Goodbye.
You know, you have a way of saying goodbye that has a certain finality to it.
Thank you, Sal. Notes at 8:30, okay?
Yeah.
Night, Sally.
Night.
Good night. I think this is just the kind of part that Diane's been needing. It's a stretch, but she's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm not sure yet. The whole scene should have been played lighter, if you ask me.
Phew, I thought I was tough. I do have some notes for you, however.
I got one for you, Kevin. I just got it this afternoon. Seems Marjorie's joining us tomorrow.
Apprentice script supervisor.
You didn't know?
I had no idea.
Boy, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't think nepotism was your game.
It's not.
I don't mind telling you, the whole thing shook me up. You know, I had visions of your wife going home at night and...
Telling me who said what to whom?
Well, we're all a little paranoid, Kevin.
Look, Frank, when I realized that my schedule was getting a little crowded and I couldn't direct this picture, I went to Bracken. I asked for you.
True.
There are no spies on my set, ever.
Okay. Well, I guess someone's trying to butter you up. Putting your wife on your movie.
Or using his head. Putting Marjorie on my movie rather ensures that all of her mistakes are at my expense.
Yeah. Or mine.
Why didn't you at least have the courtesy to tell me what you were going to do?
Because I knew if I discussed it with you, you'd talk me out of it.
You know what it takes to be a script supervisor?
Yes, I know it'll be very difficult at first, for both of us. But please, Kevin, let me try. This may be our last chance to hold all this together.
All of what? What about Mark? Have you thought about what is going to happen to him?
Always the thoughtful father. I talked to your son before I filled out the application forms.
Well, that's certainly more than you were willing to do for me.
Mark has no objections, as long as I get home before he goes to bed. Of course, I worry about Mark. I should be closer to him. But right now, I'm concentrating all my energies on getting closer to you. First the husband, then the child. That's the way I am.
Marjorie, look, I understand what you're trying to do, and I'm grateful. But, honey, it is the wrong way and at the wrong place. Family problems do not belong in the studio.
Yes, I know. Family problems, along with family portraits, belong in the bedroom. But we haven't been able to find the time to solve our problems there. So we will just have to try somewhere else. The set at 8 o'clock. It's my first day. What are you doing up? You're not directing this one.
That's right, I'm producing that. I have to be at the office until 9 a.m.
Must be wonderful to sleep till the middle of the day.
We work very closely with the wardrobe people. Also, we have to keep a running record of each actor's movements.
Oh, you mean like when they get up from a chair across the room, something like that?
Well, it's more complicated than that. We shoot many different angles of a scene because we want to be able to cut back and forth. So, if an actor scratches his right ear during a line in the master angle, we have to make sure that he scratches his right ear during the same line in all the other angles, his right ear.
So they'll match, and then you can use either the master shot or any of the other angles.
Very good.
Oh, you hang around, you'll learn.
Come on, I'll show you the rest of it.
How many takes are there usually?
Often 2 or 3 will get it, unless it's something difficult, or if the scene isn't working, and then it could be a lot more.
Do you ever get so involved in a scene that you forget what you're supposed to be checking?
Were you an actress?
No, secretary, quite some time ago.
Good, because would-be actresses do not make the best script supervisors. We're concerned with where a line is delivered, not how.
Gotcha.
Marjorie!
Hello, Frank.
Hey, nice to have you with us.
Well, I hope you'll think so at the end of the day.
Ruth will probably phone you tonight to get a full report on how I spend my days. She'll be disappointed to hear how dull they really are, but at least she may believe you.
Well, do say hello to her for me, in case I don't talk to her tonight.
All she needs is a little more encouragement. She'll be right down here beside you. I keep telling her 4 kids is career enough for any woman, but lately she's had a feeling she's missing something.
Well, I'll let her know whether she is or not.
I'll let you get back to your work. You got a good teacher. Things will look easier in a day or two. Don't worry.
Thanks, Frank.
Take good care, Mrs. Grant, Sally. Her husband will have all our heads.
Now, let me show you what a hot set is. Mrs. Grant?
Please. Call me Marjorie, and treat me as you would any other beginner. This is awkward for me, too, you know.
It's called a hot set because it was used yesterday, and there'll be more takes on the same set today. Go ahead. The ropes are supposed to keep everybody off the set so nothing will be moved from where it was. but I always check a hot set just as closely as I would any other. It's a good habit to get into. Yesterday, after they finished shooting, I made a list of all the props in their exact location. Let me see you check this list against the set. Go ahead.
David, you stop that. I'm warning you. Or I'll call the landlord, and he weighs almost 200 pounds.
Oh, Elaine, what's wrong? What happened?
She called me. That's what's wrong. She called me.
Who called you?
Your wife.
Oh, why would she do that?
Well, why wouldn't she? She's invested 4 years in you, and if I'd invested 4 of mine, I'd do a little phone calling myself. Oh, go on home. They're waiting for you.
Who's they?
That's a little something else you left out, isn't it?
You never showed me this script.
Got it! Sorry, Frank. I'm sorry. Let's take a break and we'll try it again.
All right, folks, it's a break, but don't wander too far.
At home, Marjorie. Not at the studio. Oh, could I talk to you for a couple of minutes, please?
How do you think you're going to like the script supervisor?
Ask me in about a week or two, and I'll let you know.
You know, I'm really glad that we had the break. I just don't know where I'm going in that scene.
It didn't show.
Well, I hope you feel that way by the time we wrap. That means the end of the day.
Yes, I know.
You know, I really can't figure this character that I'm playing. He stays so married, even when he's with another woman.
That shouldn't be too difficult to understand.
Well, it is for me because it's kind of against my type. I don't believe in permanent arrangements of any kind because they're much too confining.
Another form from personnel, Mrs. Grant.
Thank you.
Right.
Mrs. Kevin Grant.
That's right.
Well, wow, I almost made a very, very big mistake.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Marjorie.
Hi, Harry.
Hi. Say, I was surprised to hear about your job.
I just hope I can handle it.
Oh, well, good luck.
Thanks.
Oh, say, did Peg get in touch with you about dinner tonight? Sorry we had to cancel out. I hate to give such short notice, but Bracken wanted to see some cut scenes, and I'll be tied up with my editor, director, so I hope you understand.
Of course I do. I'm married to one of you producer types, you know. Besides, I think I'll be pretty tired myself tonight. This has been quite a day.
Gotta run now. See you later. Ellie, this is Marjorie Grant, Kevin's wife. Margie, Ellie Haynes.
I'm very happy to meet you.
Hello.
One of your husband's biggest fans. I'm looking forward to tonight, Harry. It's a real break you're giving me so much time to discuss my scenes.
Excuse me.
Bye.
Of course, I respect you as an agent. That's not the point. I go back a long way with your client. No, we used to use the same girl to type our scripts back in the New York days. My wife.
Perry Stein.
But I want the screen rights to Perry's book. And I know that Bracken is going to make a competitive bid. So the business end of it is going to be handled like normal. Look, I'm sorry, Charlie. It was a starlet looking for a part. I know. It's a wild place to work, right? All right. Fine. See you. Look, just because you happen to have broken for the day does not necessarily mean that I have.
Well, I won't bother you.
How's the working wife?
Well, I was fascinated by Tom today. You know, he'd be so good in the rehearsal, and then he'd walk through the master shots, and you'd think he'd lost it. And then he'd be perfect again in the close-ups. Boy, I guess that's really knowing what you're doing.
No, it's not necessarily knowing what you're doing. In fact, it's very unfair to the production company. He's trying to force us to use his close-ups, and a film is a lot more than a showcase for an actor. Yeah, Mitch.
Alvin Sloan to see you.
Oh, send him in. This will only take a minute, love. Alvin?
Kevin, I want to tell you that... Oh, I didn't notice that Mrs. Grant was
That's
here.
all right.
I hate to tell you this, but I think we're going to lose the set that I was going to revamp into the coffee shop.
Why?
Well, the production office just called, and Bill Tyler's picture went.
Oh, no. That's an out-and-out raid. That set is earmarked for us.
Well, there are some sets, existing sets on the lot that we might be able to use.
Forget it. We're not running. That set is ours, and that is that.
You going to talk to Tyler?
Oh, yes. I'll talk to Tyler all right, loud and clear.
Okay, Kevin?
Thank you, Alvin.
Mrs. Grant?
Hi.
So, how did your day go?
I was telling you about Tom and everything.
Oh, that's right. Tom walking through the master shop.
And then, you know, the camera operator.
It burns me up so badly. The man walks in, appropriates our sets.
The camera operator is very anxious to see the dailies. Frank gave him an awful lot of camera moves. It was really incredible. And then he...
Mitch, look, could you get Bill Tyler's office for me? Thank you. Well, it does sound like you had an interesting day.
But keep it to myself.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marjorie, but this is very important. Hello? Hello? Oh, Tyler. Now, we haven't met before. My name is Kevin Grant. I'm producing. Yeah, that's right. Well, that set belongs to me. I'll see you later. Look, I am locked into a budget, Tyler. Into a very, very tight budget. And I cannot afford the construction costs on a brand new set at the present moment. I want that set to... Would you excuse me for a moment, please?
I was just thinking. You were talking about Perry Stein and the good old days in New York when I typed your scripts. We had such narrow lives then. How come we had so much to talk about?
Okay, knock, knock.
Come in.
And, what do you think you're doing?
Moving in with you.
And your wife?
Well, that's sweet of you to ask. Is there enough room?
Not funny.
Look, Elaine, you brought her up. I didn't.
Oh.
Cut, that is a print, and we will break here for lunch.
All right, lunch back at 1:30.
How do you match that? You don't. You just pray they fall about the same way in the next take.
Marjorie?
Oh, hi, Sylvia.
Hello, darling. Haven't had a chance to welcome you to the studio yet.
Thank you, Sylvia.
You free for lunch? There's a good little restaurant right across the street. I like to go there occasionally to get away from here.
Well, do you make a habit of having lunch with apprentices?
No, I make a habit of having lunch with friends.
Starting in the apprentice program, it's a rough job. I know, it took courage.
I just hope everyone is happy about it.
As a matter of fact, not everyone is. Well, I mean, there have been complaints.
Complaints? What have I done wrong? I don't understand.
Well, it's nothing personal, Marjorie. It's, well, actually, it's to be expected when someone with a relative as important as Kevin joins the company.
Who complained?
Well, that's beside the point. But there's keen competition here. And many people get pretty jumpy when they think strings are being pulled.
Kevin didn't even know I was applying for the job.
Oh, I know that. I know he told me. Marjorie, you know the real reason why I haven't come on the set until now to say hello to you? Well, it's because I've been expecting any day now to get a phone call from Mrs. Walker in personnel saying that Marjorie Grant has decided to forget about her job.
You think this is a whim?
Yes, I do.
The Beverly Hills housewife doesn't know what to do with her afternoon, so she takes a job. Then she gets bored with the job, so she chucks the whole thing.
Well,
not true. I wanted this job, and I want to keep it.
All right. That's all I have to know. Now I can deal with any complaints.
Thanks, Sylvia. You see, this job is critical to me. My marriage is
your business, Marjorie.
Thanks again.
Tell Lou to start calling right away, okay?
Frank, what's happened?
Well, Sally's little boy had his arm broken at school, a playground accident.
How awful. Where is he?
Well, he's already at the hospital. He's going to be okay.
Frank, what are you going to do this afternoon?
I don't know. They're trying to find someone to fill in for her.
All right, but call me as soon as you know anything, huh?
How are we doing, Lou? We got someone?
Not yet, Frank, but they'll get right back to us.
Frank, let me try. I can do it.
Come on, that's out of a movie, isn't it? Understudy's big chance.
Yeah, well, they always do brilliantly, don't they?
Oh, honey, we're not in a movie. We're just trying to make one. Now, don't worry. They'll find someone for us.
Please, Frank, I've learned a lot in a couple of weeks. Let me try.
How long will it take to get someone?
To get somebody good, Frank, it'll take a couple of hours.
Well, that's too long. We got 2 scenes this afternoon. Okay, Marge. Try it.
Good luck, sweetheart. And don't worry, baby, you'll be fine. All right, everybody, back to work.
Now, is that okay for camera?
That's fine.
You're sure?
That'll do it.
Okay, now look, let's run this once more before we shoot it. And, look, Tom, let her get to you with that question about marriage. Let it shoot to you, okay? Right. Action anytime.
Weren't you ever happy together?
Well, sure, everything was okay as long as I was going to my auditions and coming home without the part. Things really got bad when I began to get the parts. You see, as long as she was the only one that believed in me, she was fine. But when others began to believe in me, I guess she thought I wouldn't love her anymore.
Didn't you?
She never really gave me a chance. She stopped loving me first.
That's so wrong.
What? What's wrong, Marjorie?
Well, how can she accept that lie? She knows his wife never stopped loving him. If she's going to take him away from his wife, at least let her do it honestly.
Marjorie, you are not involved here, you know.
I'm sorry, Frank.
Okay, let's take a break. Tom, can I talk to you for a minute?
That It must have been quite upsetting. I'm sure it broke your concentration.
Well, it happened, and it's over.
I just got caught up in the script. I guess that proves you and Tom were doing a pretty good job. What I said, Miss Waring, it was a general comment.
It seemed rather pointed.
I didn't mean it that way.
Mrs. Grant, this is a big studio. A lot of girls and a lot of rumors. I know that some of the rumors are about me. Me and your husband. They're just that. Rumors. And entirely false.
I believe you.
How can you think I believe that? I may be in love with you, but I'm not a total idiot.
Cut, print. Let's move in for a tight two shot and then the close-ups. Thank you. Marvelous.
It's beautiful.
Do you mind if we go for another day?
Come on.
I can't use that guy.
Don't worry about that. I'm fine on that thing. It's going to be great. We'll move you in close.
Tom, come on now.
Oh, I promise you, I'll cover the whole thing. Believe me, baby. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You're wonderful.
Elaine, it was only a phone call.
How can you think I believe that? I may be in love with you, but I'm not a total idiot.
Cut, print. It's beautiful. Very nice. Thanks, everybody. Okay, that's the close-ups. Let's get this next shot and wrap it up for the day, hey?
Maybe we'll get home in time for dinner. That'll make a nice change, you know?
Yeah, well, don't call your wife and tell her to start cooking yet.
Mrs. Grant?
Everyone calls me Marjorie.
Well, in that case, I'll stick with Mrs. Grant. It'll help me remember who you are.
In your case, I think that's a good idea.
Handling the whole thing by yourself today?
I'm trying to.
Big break, huh?
Yeah. Tomorrow I'll wake up a star.
I used to believe that, you know. I wish I still did.
I suspect you still do.
I suspect you're right. Hey, you'll do fine.
I hope so.
I know so.
All right, places, everyone. Places, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Where were you?
Oh, I've had it. Now, don't question me like this, Elaine. Just don't do it.
I want to know where you were.
Cut. Dan, what the hell do you think you're doing? You're not supposed to know that he slept with his wife. Not at the top of the scene. You suspect it, honey. You don't know. You're not sure.
It sounded like I knew.
Yeah, it sounded like you knew.
All right, I'll try it another way.
Good girl. Okay, that's enough rehearsal. Let's take it.
Quiet, this is the take.
Listen, everybody, this is a key scene. The actors need your help, so everybody shut up.
Hey.
Action.
Where were you?
Oh, listen, I've had it. Now, don't question me like this, Elaine. Just don't do it.
I want to know where you were.
Oh, come on. One night. I missed one night.
You haven't missed a night in your life. If you weren't with me, you were with somebody else. Who?
Okay, I went home. I went home to get a clean pair of socks.
You were with your wife?
Oh, you make that sound so wrong.
Oh, David, either you're faithful or unfaithful, but you can't be both. I let you move in here with me because, well, I fell for that old cliche about married men being the best, and I do want the best. But you're going to have to decide. You know, choose. You can't stay married and stay with me. Oh, David, I want you to want to leave her and come to me. And love me and never leave me or divorce me. I want to be your wife. Your only wife forever. Oh, David, I love you.
Cut, print. Absolutely brilliant, kid. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, break it up. Wonderful, honey. Why didn't you give me that before? It's beautiful. Okay, thanks, everybody. That's it for today. Wrap it up. You're marvelous, darling. Thank you. Very nice, Diane. You saw it, eh? Yeah, I picked up on the end of it. It looked like a good scene. What do you mean, look? It was. Diane had a quality in that thing. You don't see it very often. Well, I wish I could remember what I said to her before she began.
Taking all the credit again, Frank?
No, most of it.
Where's the statue?
Hell. They didn't put it back in after the close-ups.
Oh, Sally knows better than that. Where is she, Sally? Sally, love.
It wasn't Sally.
Sally's little boy broke his arm today. She had to leave.
Shoot it again, Frank.
Oh, Kevin, it's a perfect take. The kids are tired. I'll never get them to that peak again. And nobody's going to notice a missing piece of sculpture. If they do in that scene, we're in real trouble.
That sculpture has been established in this room since the beginning of the picture. It can't just disappear. Shoot it again, Frank.
Okay. Okay! Come on, everybody, let's get that piece of sculpture back in and try for it again.
How many of those do you think I have in me?
That's what we're going to find out, sweetheart.
Whose fault was it anyway? Producer's wife.
There are places in the Mojave Desert that are supposed to look just like the moon. It'd be great to go out there one Saturday and just walk around. Would you like me to go to my homework? I'll go do it anyway.
Mark? Mark? Honey, I'm sorry. Your father and I are, well...
Having a little problem.
I know. That's why I was talking. To try to take your minds off of it.
Oh. Well, will you give us a little time to talk?
Sure. Take as much time as you want. As long as I see you before I go to bed.
It's a deal, Tiger.
Okay. Scoot.
That boy's more grown-up than we are.
I'm sorry about today. I'd like to tell you what happened.
It's not that important.
First, I got all caught up in the dialogue. I started commenting on it. A dumb thing to do, and I knew it as soon as I opened my mouth. Then later, I guess I just wasn't staying on top of the situation. But I'd like you to know why.
Why?
A man paused to pay me attention. He joked with me and said a few flattering things. Went to my head like a good stiff drink. Funny. But I suddenly realized how enough of that kind of attention could prevent a woman from having or even wanting a career. Kevin, how did we lose so much?
No, Marjorie, it is not what we lost. It is what we've gained.
I've been thinking about this all this week.
Marjorie, when were you happy?
Used to be happy all the time.
Yes. When we had nothing.
When you needed me. When we shared everything.
Marjorie, stop living in the past. You took this job because you thought it would take us back. The way things were, well, I don't want to go back. And I don't want you to go back either. I want you to be here as my wife now. And I don't want you just to accept that role. I would like you to enjoy it.
I want you to quit that job tomorrow.
Answer me one question honestly.
What?
Did I cause serious damage to your film?
No. Even an experienced script supervisor can sometimes make a mistake. Tomorrow, Marjorie.
No. I won't quit. At least I'm doing something. And right now, you can't convince me our marriage is any the worse for it.
Action.
What's that?
A present.
I don't want any presents from you.
But you need these. Open it.
shirts? What's that supposed to mean?
It means the one you were wearing last night was terribly frayed at the collar. I'm shocked she hadn't noticed. I must have a talk with her about the way to do your shirts. I never sent them to a laundry, you know.
Did you really expect to meet her?
Nothing serious. Just a little laundry talk. Dirty laundry.
In the other angle, her cigarette was cork-tipped.
Was it? Okay. Cut! Get Paulette a cork-tipped cigarette, somebody. Hiller?
Marjorie, could I see you for a moment?
Of course.
Well? I'm afraid there's no easy way to say this.
Sally isn't coming back right away.
No, her boy's fine. She'll be away, though, for a couple more days.
And you've brought in somebody else to replace her.
Yes.
All right. I'm an apprentice again. This time I'll try to keep my place.
It's more than that. You've been released, Marjorie.
Released? You mean fired?
I'm afraid so.
How could Kevin do that to me? How could he do it?
Well, it wasn't Kevin.
Come off it, Sylvia. He asked me to quit last night.
The order came from Mr. Bracken this morning.
Mr. Bracken?
Yes, he returned from New York last night. He was told about your job, and he saw the report on the sculpture incident.
Sylvia, what was our lunch all about?
I told you I could handle any complaints. I cannot handle an executive order to fire you, obviously.
Did you even try?
What do you think?
Tell me something, Sylvia. What's the big deal about this place? This studio? I can't seem to get my husband out of it except for a few exhausted hours at night. And I can't seem to get into it. I'm reasonably bright, reasonably attractive, and very willing to learn. Why can't I get in?
There's no plot against you, I can assure you of that.
I'm beginning to wonder. Was he in his office?
Who?
Mr. Bracken.
Yes, he's there.
Then I want to talk to him.
Marjorie, have you thought of what you might be doing to Kevin? Your husband may have wanted you to quit, but he certainly didn't want you to be fired. He and Mr. Bracken have already had quite a rough session about you today.
About me?
That's right. Marjorie, you're married to a very strong, very talented man. I only work for one. I know your job is far more difficult than mine. Therefore, I hesitate to give you any advice.
But you'd like for me to go home now? What's the procedure for checking off the lot?
I'll take care of that for you. And I am your friend, Marjorie.
set. I tried to call. I'm sorry it happened this way, Marjorie. Where's Mark?
He's spending the night with a friend.
Whose idea was that?
Mark's mother's.
Well, yes, to Mark's mother. All right, Shay. What's the occasion?
Does a successful producer need an occasion?
A successful producer's wife doesn't need an occasion. We're going to have to postpone the exteriors until a location comes available. Let's see, today's Thursday. We won't be able to get out until... Yeah, Mitch. Sylvia? Sure. And then hold all the rest of the calls. I am leaving. Sylvia. Yeah, well, it's almost 6 o'clock. Look, could you tell Bracken that I'll meet with him the first of the week? Thanks, love. Good night. Gentlemen, it is all going to have to wait until Monday.
Oh, come on, Kevin. Tomorrow, I've got
Tomorrow, Frank, you be the producer. I'll see you on the set first thing Monday morning.
There must be 24 phone calls to be returned.
Monday, Mitch. Monday.
Al Sloan is still waiting for you out there to show you his set sketches.
It'll have to wait until next week.
Well, it'll only take 10 minutes. I mean, where are you going? Can't that wait?
No, my wife and I are going on a 3-day weekend up the coast, and that can't wait. It's waited too long already, Alvin.